In this post, we're exploring virtue and vice for digital natives. Character education is about developing personal strengths called virtues. That was in one of our definitions, in particular this one from James Arthur, about developing virtues. Now, what I would like to suggest here is that the vices, of the digital community are quite peculiar. And therefore, there's also a set of virtues that we can work on in the online community, which are also peculiar. So it's not just character education as if the online didn't exist. It's character education because the online exists with new challenges to character, and we want to address those challenges to character of the digital natives through online character education. So there's new challenges, new opportunities offered by the online. So let me just give you some examples of digital native vice and how we can counter that with digital native virtue in the online. For example, digital vice can be that of being fake. Easy to show just the best pictures of yourself. The online environment can be very favorable to deception, to even self-deception. You can tempt yourself to show just the best. It's hard to verify the information without the face-to-face. Misleading information can be there. Omission for personal benefit can be part of what we do in the online. The concealing of identity, Second Life, different avatars that you have. And so fakeness is a real temptation. It's a real vice in online communities. We can counter that with online education that actually presses us to be genuine, to be honest, to reveal ourselves, and so work toward that virtue to counter the specific vice as we develop character education initiatives in the online. Another vice of the online is the distraction. Where it's very easy to be distracted, to multitask, and your mind is going in many directions. Very popular book is What the Internet is Doing to Our Brains, The Shallows. It talks about actually how our brains actually become more and more shallow, more distracted because of the online. And that's a vice. And we can counter that with online character education that is actually moving toward people to be more focused, to be even slow, intentionally constructing, and not just fleetingly surfing across the web. Another online vice is unaccountability. Social media enable, for example, relationships that you click in and you click out. You can ban people, you can unfriend people, you can drop a relationship, and you're not accountable. And there is something in the physical presence which makes you a little more accountable, and the online can make you less accountable. So I think, again, we can counter that with the intentional work on the virtue of accountability, and of not ignoring what someone else has said, of not unfriending someone in an irresponsible way. Again, another example, the lack of tolerance. That's really easy to find in the online environment. Someone doesn't agree with me, someone has something I don't like, boom, end the relationship. And this can promote intolerance, a lack of commitment. Blocking someone is actually a character issue. We need to address that sort of character issue with perhaps more constancy, with the virtue of constancy in our relationships in the online environment. Vices like surfing for entertainment, which is okay if you do it sometimes, but if that's all you do, if you're just looking for entertainment and all you do is you lightly surf, that's a vice, and we need to counter that with some disciplined habits. The fragmentation, again, the little bits and bobs that come there, we want to have people that are more unified, that are more systemic in their thinking, their character is shaped more holistically and not just in a fragmented way. Other vices which can be gullibility and superficial, you believe every fake news that is out there, the echo chamber factor. We want to press toward the virtue of being shrewd, of being attentive, of being scrupulous, of verifying information before repeating it to other people. And that's a virtue countering a vice. From impulse to reflection, the vice of impulse is hiding behind every corner. Everything is just one click away. You can buy things, you can go to sites, you can visit things, you can see things. It's just all one click away. It's all very impulsive. It's all very quick. And I think we need to cultivate the virtue of thoughtfulness, of reflection. Think before you act. Think before you click. Think before you buy. Wait. This sort of virtue. Also from being egocentric to other-centric, the web tends to be very egocentric. Think of the Facebook profile. It's all about getting likes. Your Instagram, network, it's about getting likes. It's about getting views. It's about getting comments. About getting forwarding, and people are quoting you. It's all about me wanting to be loved, and that's a vice. And I think we need to address that in online character education to being other-centric, where we reinforce character in the relationship, committed to other, to respond not just to select friends, but to respond to others as well. Never simply ignore. So to cultivate empathy, generosity toward others in our online dealings. From homophily as well, that's a vice, which means the relationship only with those that are like me. And that can be a vice. I'm seeking, the people that are like me. And that like me, and that can be a vice. And so we want to press toward the virtue of character shaping difference and tension in relationship, where you have relationships even online with people that are different from you, and so you embrace that tension because it's going to be good for you rather than escaping it to the group that thinks and just like you. And again, the shallowness, finally, we've mentioned this before, but the vice of shallowness in relationships and thinking, we want to move toward a depth, the virtue of depth, of robust relationships, of robust processes that can so easily be forgotten in the online world. So this is just an example of a few possible areas where we can be thinking specifically of the digital natives. What are the challenges to their character that are being posed by the digital social media environment? How can we as theological educators address those creatively and incisively through character education that is done online? So yes, from virtue to vice, specifically to online character education.